Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this week's episode, we're going to be reviewing this 1979 Fj40, which is my friend Josh Fisher's. He reached out to me via YouTube and he suggested that we do a tour video of it, so that's what we're going to do this week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, and share these videos, as it keeps me motivated to keep on putting stuff together like this. So cheers, and we'll see you in the video.
My name's Josh. This is my 1979 Fj40. I'd love to walk you guys through it, show you what I have done, what I'm planning to do, what I think is good about it, things I don't like about it, and just overall what I've learned about owning my first Fj40. I bought this out of Arizona, and when I bought it, it was actually had a very strange like safari camouflage to it with zebra stripes. It was a pretty much untouched 79, and that was what I was kind of looking for. A 79 or newer, has the different gears, had front discs from the factory. But the paint job was tragic. It had camouflage seat covers, and so kind of got some of that work started out there before it got delivered here. Didn't quite get exactly what I thought I was getting, but it's helped me work on it in the garage, thanks to my wife. She's tolerant of that, and I've gotten to know this truck so much better. Original Warren 8274. It has a strange 3 or 4 pin connector, which is painfully hard to find a controller for, but that's the old one, and if you're willing to pay enough on eBay, you can get one too, like I did. Pretty much just under the hood is going to be about the same, other than I'll show you I took the carb off and desmogged it, went to a Holly Sniper fuel injection, but all around pretty much that's what it's painted. I haven't touched much of the paint. It's been basically fixing things that I found wrong. Learned how with a manual transmission you really do rely on your parking brake, and I didn't have one, not a functioning one, so that spent a lot of my time was doing that repair and a total rebuild, and getting that cable out was also very difficult. But now I have a parking brake, and it makes a huge difference on just not rolling away or letting the truck warm up. Highly recommend a parking brake for a manual. Back, it's on the standard gear. It has the ambulance doors in the back. I did replace the bumperettes. They were both beat up, and I changed to a receiver style hitch because I plan to carry our bikes on the back of this when we go camping and stuff. So having one I can slide a bike rack into was key. And that pretty much covers all the outside stuff, rather than like door latches. They didn't clip properly. I did get all new key sets, so the keys are all the same. And now I can actually lock my gas cap. So that's pretty much the outside of it. So it has the standard jump seats. Those were reupholstered as well. I had seat belts put back in it because it didn't have any. It had 5-point harnesses on it when I bought the truck, and I had the original retractables put in. You'll notice the extra battery. Sometimes my alternator seems like it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't, so I carry jumper cables with my own battery so I can jump myself anywhere I need to until I get that squared away. Found a cool 3D printed insert for the center console, which is usually pretty useless, just a box. So now I have a cup holder and it holds 5 old vintage cassettes. But these are just the standard drop down seats. With a support leg underneath them if you want to use them. When Toyota made these, they were not making them for 6'6" guys like me, and so even with the seat all the way back, it was painfully close to the steering wheel, to the point even reverse kind of gets questionable. So I actually took the seats out and put in 2 pieces of unistrut you get from Home Depot, and just kind of relocated it all back on it so you get full still slide function of it. It's just automatically set about 3 inches further back, which made a huge difference in like my joy of driving it. So when I bought it, it had door speakers in it, and it also had really bad door seals. So that combination of having to slam it to overpower the door seals kind of ended up ripping the speaker out. Plus the speaker can go into the bottom. So I've got new speakers. I'm going to relocate those in here with an Icon kit, and then got new door cards. So that'll get cleaned up, which will be really nice. Also, I switched out to all billet knobs kit from, I think it's Redline. That's really nice. You couldn't read most of mine. It was kind of, well, as you can see, it just kind of felt like it was a little more air, a little more pull. once I figure out how to get it mounted, because I have to thread that bar to fit the new knob. It's a different style, but you know, it won't just be there for looks. One of the big selling points for my wife was that I had to have the tape deck working so we could run the Beastie Boys collection, which we did go and find on eBay. To get in there to fix that, ended up taking this entire heater box out, so it gave me a chance to kind of go through all of it, and the amount of like hay and seeds that would blow out, so that got that all cleaned up. Had aftermarket air conditioning added, which is also a requirement of the wife for our summer adventures. So if getting my 40 is requires me to put in air conditioning, then I'm putting in air conditioning. So under the hood, the biggest thing I did was, well, I desmogged it because it still had all the emissions. After getting all that out of the way, I went with a Holley Sniper electronic fuel injection system that I bought from Mosley. And yeah, he has a full kit, so you can get the this adapter, which is nice. Pre-bent gas lines. Comes with a fuel pump, a fuel kind of regulator with a neat return. It's a Diablo return. If you can find a home for it, it's great. It makes it a lot easier. But once you get in there, it is pretty much turnkey. It's a job. It's definitely nothing to laugh at. And I'm not a carburetor guy, so it was probably a bit extra for me. But I was really happy for the first time to crank it after I got that all put in. It's really a big win. The other thing I did, new clutch cylinders, master and slave, and then I repaired the actual electric motor. I rebuilt it, the electric motor that runs my wiper fluid. So that was kind of a total geek win. To kind of feel like you did something that I never thought I could have done. But I was very happy to have it spraying again. When you go to this kit, you go from using a linkage, so your pedal actually goes through the firewall, hits a linkage to run your carburetor. With this, you need to actually have a throttle cable, so actually you have to torch it and bend it out, so now it all stays inside the cab to pull the cable.
So that's going to conclude the tour of the 1979 Fj40. Thank you so much, Josh, for letting me review it with you. I hope you enjoyed the content. I am slowly falling in love with these trucks. I know that I don't have a lot of them on my channel, but there may be one fairly soon. So Josh, if you don't mind, let's jump in this thing and go take it for a ride. Take these baby for a spin. So thank you so much, Josh, for that ride. It was really fun. I just want to know, what's your future for the Fj40 look like? Can you go into a little bit about that?
So right now I've got all the new front rotors and pads on order, tie rod ends. Obviously with the battery in the back of the 40, I've got to work on the alternator at some level, and then getting the stereo squared away. And then I think after that, it'll just be riding it till it breaks and fixing those things, or until I find some other project, which they seem to have plenty of projects.
Great, thank you so much, Josh. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Again, if you like this type of stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe, as it really keeps me motivated to keep on doing stuff like this. Cheers, and we'll see you in the next video.